Simple living has swept the nation. Well, kind of. We're all a little less inclined to buy that new t-shirt if we don't have anywhere to wear it. But simple living and the minimalist lifestyle was popular before March 2020. Minimalists are gaining traction on every platform, and their message is invariably the same. Living simply solves a lot of problems. But where did they get this idea? And has it been shown to work in the past? Or is this minimalism thing just a new trend? How did minimalism become minimalism? Minimalism as we know it today is a fairly new thing. 100 years ago, people didn't have the option to buy trinkets online and store them in their 1,200 square foot garage on the off chance that they might need or want to look at them at some point. Homes were smaller, clothes were harder to make, and Amazon was just a jungle in South America. But the central values of minimalism can be found all the way back to the Stoics, Jesus Christ, and Muhammad. Henry David Thoreau is said to have been one of the first modern minimalists, and people like Gandhi have also become beacons to those who choose to live simply. Living simply isn't always the answer though. I mean, the Unabomber was a minimalist too. And we don't want to end up like that guy at the end of Into the Wild, do we?
I'm going to Alaska.
Alaska?
Minimalists today are very different from these examples. Minimalism was first coined by the British art theorist Richard Wollheim in his 1965 essay Minimal Art. A new form of art was emerging at the time, and the focus became basic sensory experience as opposed to self-expression. As Wollheim wrote, it created a demand that we should look at single objects for and in themselves. Minimalist art has the same goal as a minimalist lifestyle. It's about creating a specific moment, a feeling or an experience. It's about creating a particular view, a heightening of experience achieved by limiting distractions. Minimalism is about attention to detail and the mundane. It shows us that life isn't about consuming products, but enjoying experiences. It teaches us to be aware of the transient world around us, and to find pleasure in it. It forces us to realize what already exists is more important than all our worries and what could be or what we should have. Living simply is not living poor or in the middle of nowhere. It is a lifestyle of active destructuring. It necessitates constant questioning. It is, in some cases, a sort of quasi-religion with a central canon and a way of achieving salvation. It has spiritual leaders and a central moral strand connecting its many applications. Minimalists want to save themselves and the world. They are sustainable, economical, and spiritual. They reap the benefits of spending less money, imprinting a smaller carbon footprint on the environment, and enjoying more time in the space they've created for themselves. Minimalism is a reaction to the lifestyle capitalism and the Industrial Revolution forced on us. We live in a world of consumerism, and that consumerism fuels our economy. Consumer spending makes up 70% of our economy. We need it. Our jobs rely on it. We earn a living by taking money from the other people who earn a living the same way. And the wheels keep turning. Minimalists don't want to kill the economy, but they do want to question it. When corporate pockets benefit from soulless spending and the spenders themselves suffer, what gains are we really seeing? Who is actually benefiting? Do we really need a new iPhone? Will that new dress really make us feel prettier? Why are my purchases making me poorer and less content? Minimalists today focus on relationships instead of things. They purge their closets so that they won't have to think about wearing the white t-shirt or the black one. Choices like that take time, and they're ultimately trivial. Think of a life wearing only a black t-shirt. Imagine a home where you enjoy only the essentials. Focus on a day where you are not casually browsing online sales. Think of all the time you'd have. Think of all the space. The world we live in today is cluttered. Cluttered with opinions, cluttered with things, and cluttered with stress. But minimalism offers you a choice. You don't have to buy into the fancy lifestyle being sold to you. You can buy into minimalism. Has minimalism been commodified? Well, yes.
Do you guys know the name Marie Kondo?
Of course it has been. You could buy a minimalist watch, a minimalist chair, and a minimalist recipe book. Minimalism has become a brand. It has been transformed into a tactic we use to shield ourselves from the world instead of opening ourselves to it. It has become restrictive, a way of life with rules and guidelines. Social media has fed us a new product packaged as the anti-product. But if we're still talking about living simply, tiny houses and empty living rooms aren't the point. Copying someone else's interpretation of minimalism is in itself a sort of anti-minimalism. Minimalism teaches us to create our own lives, to free ourselves from material possessions and focus on the beauty of the everyday, of nature. It's a very independent mindset, and it puts the responsibility entirely on the individual to achieve it. There are a multitude of lifestyles that can be minimalistic. The diversity minimalism allows is its strength, though the singular lifestyle brand being sold today has little to do with that original flexibility. You can't live simply by living like someone else. That's the point. You have to define your own minimalism and not buy into someone else's. Because if you do, you'll only have another product on your mental shelf, taking up space and telling you how to live.